Jason Brown, in some incredible way, has made the American public fall in love with him without fail. Watching his free skating at the US Championships, I was shocked by the support of the audience, and in the comments fans unanimously decided that Brown was the benchmark for men's single skating and that he did not need any quadruplets. Brown was only 10 points behind Ilia Malinin, a man with a Russian name and last name. Of course, Malinin is a god of quads, but not a god of components. In order to snatch the victory from Brown, Ilia had to jump in a super cascade, triple Lutz plus triple axel plus triple toe loop. And since it was the first performance of such a cascade, it is likely to be named Malinin's Cascade. Just think how Ilia's head was working. As the program progressed, he was figuring out how to get around the ultra component Brown, who could get premiums for his falls. He found a way around it, but at the awards ceremony it was pathetic to look at the guy. However, only one Jason Brown was happy there, like a true American, in a crowd of guys with Russian names, Ilya, Andrei, and Maxim. American Jason Brown is one of the brightest skaters in modern men's skating. Stretch and flexibility unique for men's singles, the best spins in men's skating, great artistry. The richness of his programs with the most difficult bindings has earned him the unofficial, but more than well-deserved title of the King of Transitions from the audience, and his jump into the cross-twine brings to mind the great Toller Cranston. It would seem, what else is not enough for what would rise to the very top? And what is missing the most important part of the modern men's FK, jumps? More specifically quadruple jumps, triple jumps are good enough. But at a time when the world leaders perform 3, 4 or even 5 quadruple jumps, among which there are older ones, Lutz, a flip, a Ritberger, 1, and even the occasional quadruple Tolop or Salcho. But while Brown may not qualify for the highest places in international tournaments, he was and remains a crowd favorite, and he's invited to the post-tournament showcase even if he doesn't make the top 6. Jason is not only the king of the trances, few people get the audience as excited as he does. Alexander Kogan, general director of the Russian Figure Skating Federation, responded to criticism of the judges from two-time Olympic champion Yevgeny Plushenko. Plushenko's pupils Veronika Vilina and Sofia Titova took 2nd and 4th places at the Russian Junior Championship in Perm. I don't agree with Yevgeny that there is some kind of prejudice towards his students on the part of the judging, Kogan said. Yana Rukovskaya, Yevgeny Plushenko's wife, spoke out about judging in Russian figure skating and also commented on her husband's words about a possible change of citizenship for his students. Regarding Yevgeny Plushenko's statement regarding the judging of our girls and the global attitude towards our athletes in general. First, I absolutely, unconditionally and completely agree with what Zhenya said. Secondly, it's just vile to make children fight not only with their opponents, but also for justice. With adults. This is out of line. We were patient for a long time. Moreover, I can say this, we would have tolerated it even longer. But both parents and children are tired. We are not asking for anything, we are paying for our eyes, for children's tickets, for costumes, for programs, for their accommodation in comfortable conditions, for all their trips to competitions. Our school and our sponsors pay. Because we are a private school and we don't get any help. And we will fight for every child to the end, for their victories and dreams. Go away, they say. Just imagine how quickly the girls with the 3 and 4 jumping ultras in the free program will be taken away with their hands and feet. In the world, only Russian athletes, which can be counted on the fingers of one hand, do that. No one in the world does. Do you remember Sasha Trusova's tears at the Olympics? And now a mirror tragedy happened at the Russian Championship among juniors among 14-year-old girls. The whole world is in shock, and the federation says, well, go away. Journalists are asking if it is true, the news that the federations of major European countries are interested in the possible transition of Veronika Vilina and Sofia Titova. I confirm that it is true. We have one homeland and there will never be another, never. Each of us is selflessly devoted to his or her country. But, boy, did I read the comments. Who do you want to accuse of betrayal? Kids 13 to 14 years old with parents. Kids who have a very short lifespan in junior sports? All they are looking for is justice. Not a new country, but a fair sport, because for them it is life. These are not beautiful words, they really live on this ice. It's a misery to see how they are humiliated and put to death. Now the situation, some people can and others can't, some people can't see undercuts, others can't even see clean jumps. How is it? Is it a double standard? For 3 years we have been fighting for justice for children, not adults. We ask for objective judging to all staffs equally. Fair. After all, we are all for fair sport, right? Otherwise, in figure skating there is a common expression, nagrabo volley, that is throwing undeserved mushrooms points. And before you write loud headlines, watch a 10-minute interview with Yevgeny, a man who wants one thing, justice, Rukovskaya wrote on her Telegram channel. Likewise, Yana Rukovskaya spoke out about the code of ethics of the Russian Figure Skating Federation. Well, now let's talk about the code of ethics, which was introduced 6 months ago. The code of ethics, it's right, great. But I have 2 questions. First, how do you fight then? How do you talk about the problem then? Nothing? So we must keep silent and swallow. There should always be a constructive dialogue. Federation, coaches, athletes. Secondly, why if some people violate the code, they can get away with it, and why about the others they start howling? Commentators sometimes allow excesses, the choreographer Zeleznyakov constantly insults athletes. But for others, we, the people who fight for junior children's sport, who invest their own money into children's sport, you cannot talk about fairness. And yes, let me remind you, we invest personal money in athletes. The school is maintained entirely on our private investment. Even so, my husband and I continue to fight for fairness in children's sports. And yes, sorry, but if already Tatiana Anatolievna Tarasova agreed, it means, exactly right, says Yevgeny, something must be changed in the system in which the athlete who fell from the quadruple luge, from the clear staff, in the jumping tournament, wins over our athlete who did a clean quadruple salto. Double standards, unfairness, and cruelty lead to childhood mental breakdowns and breakdowns. Not the sport. And why, again, are some allowed to cross for other countries and make secret crossings? Some people are quietly skipping the season now, and will transfer secretly, and other people just say, start judging fairly, and all the strong athletes will stay here. You can be sure of that, Rukovskaya wrote in the Telegram channel.